people in charge are Nazi sympathizers, feminazis, zionazis, neo-Nazis, controlled movements. They're trying to say, if you're proud to be white, you should join this controlled neo-Nazi movement or this controlled KKK occultist movement that was started by a Mason, Nathan Bedford Forrest. Then, of course, there's Pike, Confederate general, Confederate officers on record, Ku Klux Klan. Controlled opposition. I like to remix words sometimes, not for my poems, not for the videos I publish, but, you know, just for myself when I listen to a song. For example, TG, he says, I'm from the underdog section and it's well known. I put the burn to your ear like a cell phone. Well, I mix it. I'm from the uncontrolled movement and it's well known. I shoot gang stalkers in the head with a faux. Anyway, Christians should fight for what is right. In the Crusades, you had Christians who were in secret societies who were controlled opposition. That is not why I bought these. We'll call them props. They're not the most effective weapons, but they're very effective for what I'm trying to do. They're effective symbols. Symbols that make me a Christian warrior, among other things, among other types of warriors that I am, you know, that these symbols don't symbolize. Anyway, I'm wearing a shirt with black Christians that stood against the forces of evil, while I hold the symbols of white Christians that stood against the forces of evil, and I'm black and I'm white. 3 guesses how I feel about this. 3 guesses what I think needs to be done. 3 guesses why they cannot disprove a single key point in over 4,000 videos. Now, it's important to note that I'm not saying Hitler was wrong about everything. Okay? I'm not sure whether he was controlled opposition or not. I'm kind of, you know, sometimes I think he was, sometimes I think he wasn't. You know, what I think is that he was introduced and initiated into secret societies. He caught wind of what was going on. It enraged him as a man of the military, a military man, and everything else that was going on to his people. And he's just lashed out against the people he needed to fight against in order to take control. Okay? Was he controlled the whole time? Perhaps. But one thing I believe is that he definitely was legitimately and genuinely angry at the Jews because they, in his mind, they were the people in charge. In fact, in reality, they were the people in charge that weren't white. And he wanted the European, the English royal family to side with him. So he wept when he bombed London and England. You know, he wept because he wanted these guys to see it his way, take his side, and help him take on the Jews. But it didn't happen because of control. You know, you got to be very careful with this thing here. You know, this controlled opposition based. Whether or not I'm a Hitler fan, which I'm pretty much not, doesn't matter. You know, but learning from his mistakes does. He thought that he could get controlled opposition to take his side and take on the people who were opposing white supremacy, if you will, or his agenda. Do not make that mistake, my friends. You cannot trust the controlled opposition, no matter how sincere they come off. They might say, well, I'm really a double agent, or just because I work for them doesn't mean I don't see it like you. But it almost certainly means that at the end of the day, you will side with them and not me, and I'll be fucked while you keep living your controlled opposition life of cowardice, treachery, deceit, and betrayal. You see, the only real opposition to the New World Order as a large group of people is, you know, the people who truly believe in the Abrahamic faiths. Everyone else is in opposition. Hindus and Buddhists don't oppose them. Hindus believe that there's a caste system and that they know their place. Buddhists believe in non-action. They go to some Buddhist retreat and they don't get involved. The only real opposition that has a large group of people is real Christians, real Muslims, and some real Jews. Everyone else is just kind of everyone else. You know, this controlled communist movement, of course they're not real opposition. They are absolutely controlled. Absolutely. You know, I can't think of a single famous communist group in any time in history, any point, it wasn't controlled. Even Che Guevara fell out with Castro because he said this guy's controlled. And then what happened? He didn't last very long on his own, did he? Because as a group, as a large group of people, as soon as he separated himself from controlled opposition, from communism, which is controlled opposition, he didn't last long. He died in, I believe, South America. I want to say Bolivia. He died in South America. Killed. You know, partially by the CIA, but by his opposition there. Of course, the CIA spins the story, makes it seem like they actually were trying to help him or some bitch shit like that. But anyway, so yeah, you know, it is absolutely disgraceful that there's attacks on Christianity by people who claim to be revolutionaries or claim to be against the 1%. Because you cannot beat the 1% without Christians. Never going to happen, no fucking way. You want to have a group that is smaller than the 1% and their controlled opposition, you know, take on these people who have all the money, all the power, and all these bootlickers doing what they say. It's not going to happen. There's no victory against the New World Order without Christianity. So all you little sniveling cowards who want to say bitch shit like, why don't you want to admit to yourself the Bible isn't true? And I've gone over this so many times. Okay, the morality in the Bible is true. The moral of the story is true. There is a God. And even if there wasn't, for the sake of argument, not that I believe for 1 second that that's the case, men who believe in the Bible on record with all their heart act accordingly. They act in a superior fashion. They are a superior form of life. They walk a higher path. They are righteous. People who don't believe it, people who follow a godless or a I don't know kind of philosophy, are inferior. They are these little selfish scumbags. They are disgusting queers that fucking put their dick in shit, literally, and just disgusting. Just disgusting bearded fucking ladies. When you look at, who, you know, compare the non-Christians to the Christians, you'd have to be fucking crazy to think that the non-Christian group is superior. And that is the problem with all these spiritual bottom feeders. One of many problems, that's one of the big problems, is that they have a complex that makes them crazy. For all intents and purposes, they are crazy. They are out of touch with reality. They think that the most moral, selfless people in the world are the enemies of humanity and that they are the good guys. I mean, completely backwards, out of touch, foolish, indecent, ignoble, shallow, weak. We are the people that fought and died against the oppressors. Biafra. With God, I have risen to be the top martial artist in this country. Ali believed in God. The top boxer, perhaps in history, was a Muslim. The people who believe in God, we just do it better. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, we just do it better. And the Black Panther Party was held together by countless Panthers that believed in God. We just do it better. You can't win without us. Without God on your side, you have already lost. You're just too blind and stupid to see it. What these people are doing right now will ultimately result in the death of all the spiritual bottom-feeding philosophies. And there are many people like me to make sure that people remember exactly who betrayed us, exactly what the people in charge believe in, and exactly why it is evil to see things that way. Thank you.